The door slammed behind her with a finality that echoed in the empty apartment like a gunshot. 7 days, she said. No calls, she said. Her perfume lingered, sweet and dangerous, a cruel reminder of the intimacy she once shared, and that intimacy I would soon see unravel in ways my mind wasn't ready for. I sank into the couch, heart pounding, a deep, gnawing suspicion tightening around me like a vice. The air was too quiet, the room too still. Something was already wrong. I could feel it, every instinct screaming, warning me. Watch her now! Her smartwatch glinted on the nightstand. Innocuous yet irresistible. Normally, it was just a tracker, a way to mirror her steps and notifications on the TV while she cooked. But today, it was a window into a world I was never supposed to witness. My fingers trembled as I synced it to the TV. The feed flickered on, and there she was, smiling, carefree, chatting with friends, chopping vegetables, seemingly innocent. My heart tried to breathe, but the pit in my stomach already told me. This was the calm before a storm I couldn't survive. Then the first man entered. A shadow at the edge of the frame, smiling, leaning just a little too close. She turned, her laughter lighter, too practiced, too polished. My stomach dropped. My hands froze on the remote. I told myself it was just a friend, an old acquaintance, harmless. But the tiny flicker of recognition in her eyes told a different story. Her body language screamed secrets, whispered betrayal. I pressed pause for a second, tried to convince myself I was imagining it. But when a second man appeared, casual, confident, walking straight into her space, the illusion shattered. By the time the third, fourth, and fifth men walked in, the room had transformed. Her kitchen, once our sanctuary of laughter and shared breakfasts, was now a stage for deception I had never dreamed she was capable of. My heart thumped, a relentless drum of horror. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. I could barely breathe. Every laugh she gave was like a dagger twisting in my chest, every glance at one of them a betrayal I could physically feel. I realized, too late, that the girls' trip was never about friends, freedom, or fun. It was about hiding me from the truth, and that truth was far darker than I could imagine. She noticed the smartwatch, a fleeting glance that froze my blood. Her lips curved in a smile, casual, but her eyes betrayed panic. Did she know? Could she feel me watching, though 1,000 miles apart? My chest tightened. My hands clenched. I had never felt fear and rage at the same time, yet here I was, trapped in a living nightmare that unfolded in real time. Every gesture, every whispered laugh I couldn't hear, carved into me, leaving scars I knew would never heal. I tried to look away, to give myself a moment of sanity, but my eyes were glued to the screen. I saw her lean closer to one of the men, a casual touch on his arm, a laugh that held secrets, a familiarity meant for me alone. Each second was torture. The love I had invested, the promises I had believed in, the warmth of her hand in mine, all of it dissolved into a cold void of deception. And yet, I couldn't stop watching. The pain was addictive, the betrayal intoxicating in its horror. I realized I was witnessing not just infidelity, but a carefully orchestrated performance meant to humiliate my heart in the absence of confrontation. The night progressed, and the darkness outside mirrored the growing storm inside me. My mind raced with 1,000 questions, all dangerous. Who were they? How long had this been planned? Was every lie she told me a prelude to this moment? I didn't want to know the answers, but the smartwatch didn't lie. I was seeing her live, unfiltered, a side she had never revealed, and I could not turn away. Every laugh, every shared glance, every stolen moment was a dagger, sharp, unrelenting, and final. By the 5th day, I was a ghost in my own home, living through her betrayal as if it were a cruel cinematic show. Her friends laughed, oblivious, or complicit. The 5 men moved closer, their intentions obvious in gestures I couldn't ignore. She didn't flinch. She didn't resist. My chest felt like it was about to explode. I realized she wasn't just betraying me. She was enjoying it. Not for a fleeting thrill, but with calculated, deliberate pleasure. The woman I had trusted, loved, and shared every secret with was gone, replaced by a stranger performing intimacy for others, while I, the husband, watched helplessly. And then came the message. Her best friend. Innocuous. Everything okay over there? But it was the final confirmation. The trip, the secrecy, the laughter. It was all part of a stage. I had seen everything, documented everything, yet the true horror was knowing she had done it with intent, fully aware of the destruction her choices would bring. I clenched my fists, my nails digging into my palms. I had survived heartbreak before, but this was annihilation. And yet, amidst the despair, a cold, sharp clarity emerged. She would never see me as weak again. The 7th day arrived. She returned, glowing, casual, triumphant in her little escape. Her bag swung carelessly, her laughter bright, innocent, and yet I knew the secret she carried like a weapon against me. I hugged her, smiled, pretended, every muscle taut with tension, every breath a countdown to justice. And then, I switched the TV. The feed played her betrayal in full. Her face drained of color as she saw herself, the men, the intimacy she had hidden from me, broadcast in the living room. I watched as the walls she had built around her lies crumbled, her voice catching, her mind grasping for excuses she couldn't articulate. I said nothing. I let her unravel in silence. No screams, no accusations. Just the cold truth projected in the light of the TV. The woman who left for freedom, for secrecy, for the thrill of 5 men in a kitchen, sat broken before me. I realized then that betrayal is not only in the act, it's in the subtle, quiet way it destroys trust, rewrites love, and fractures hearts. I felt hollow, yet stronger than ever, for I had seen everything and survived. She never spoke of the trip again. I never asked why. The smartwatch had revealed the nightmare I needed to see. And as I sat alone that night, staring at the darkened screen, I understood. Heartbreak, betrayal, and the raw clarity of truth are tools, not weapons, if you survive them. I survived. I watched. I endured. And in that endurance, I reclaimed control over my life, over my heart, and over the woman who had once held it, and had chosen to betray it in ways I would never forget.